Welcome back to Crisis on Infinite Earths right here at the Comicstorian channel, your home for audio dramas of your favorite comic books, video games, and movies. Today we're going to be covering issues 8 through 10 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And when we last left off, our heroes had kind of defeated the Anti-Monitor, pushing him back, but in that process, Kara Zor-El had died. This is the storyline in which all of the multiversal universes are being slammed together to create one giant universe, and it's all because the Anti-Monitor is trying to destroy them all. So even though they had won and they had emerged back into the Netherverse, the heroes then returned to their respective Earths, and the merging of the last 5 Earths had been stopped. They were not fully merged, but they were not separate. For now, life would continue on as nothing had happened, but such peace did not remain for long, starting with issue 8. On board a vessel that launched away from the Anti-Monitor's fortress, Psycho Pirate stands, gazing out of the antimatter energy, the body of the Flash hanging above him. He fears for his life since he failed the Anti-Monitor, but now he can only hope that the being is officially dead. "That will not save you, Psycho Pirate," Anti-Monitor warns, stepping out of the antimatter energy to stand aboard the strange ship. He has re-solidified, looking different than he did before. "Supergirl destroyed my outer shell. She almost destroyed me. It took time to construct a new presence around me, but I am ready now. We will land on Koward, and from there we will destroy the remaining Earths." "We? You're not killing me?" Psycho Pirate asks, but the Anti-Monitor tells him that he still requires his talents. Later, the being stands on Koward, watching as his slaves build a mighty antimatter cannon that will obliterate the 5 remaining Earths. His Thunderers work the slaves hard, using their awesome powers to destroy those who slow down the construction. Now, feeling at his full strength again, Psycho Pirate moves through the fortress, and he enters the room where the Flash is hanging, stuck in a constraining gel. "Scared, speedster? If you aren't, you soon will be." But Flash slowly opens his eyes, looking at the villain. "Psycho Pirate, eat Jell-O," he yells, spinning quickly, launching the gel across the room. He moves fast, cracking the pirate across the jaw, knocking him back. "Maybe your powers have returned, but so have mine. I've been slowly increasing my inner vibrations until I could simply slip through your gelatin jail." The Flash moves around the room in a blur, knocking out his Thunderer guard. He then turns back, and the Psycho Pirate tries to use his powers to slow the Flash, to make the hero feel fear. But Barry pushes through it, launching forward, beating the villain senseless. Psycho Pirate finally holds up his hands, his face bruised and bloody. "Please, stop! I'll do anything you want!" He stutters, and Barry looks at him, sweat dripping from his face. "Pirate, you're gonna love this one." Within the fortress, the Thunderers continue to work the slaves, when suddenly a blur appears and hate fills each of them one by one. They turn to the Anti-Monitor, feeling hate towards their master, and they launch their lightning at him, trying to bring him down. The Anti-Monitor begins to fight as his forces are moving against him. The Flash finally stops, holding Psycho Pirate up. "You're certain this is the antimatter cannon?" Pirate nods, and the Flash knocks him out, moving forward fast, phasing through the shell of the antimatter cannon. He stops, shocked to find that the cannon is powered by concentrated antimatter. "I can feel it, weakening me, draining my energy," he gasps, staggering, but the Flash can't be stopped. He knows that it is up to him to save the world, and he begins to run faster and faster, pushing past the weakened energy of the antimatter, and as he speeds up, the machine begins to break down around him. Energy is crackling, and it strikes out its own components. The cannon explodes, and still, the Flash runs faster. "Have to keep running, no matter how much it hurts," the Flash gasps. "I can feel the time stream all around me." He can feel the monitor beginning to open a temporal portal around him, but still, Barry pushes forward. When suddenly before him, he sees Wally West looking on in fear. "My God, I'm moving so fast, I'm going back in time," Barry thinks, with more images of the Flash before him. The Joker aiming a gun at him, and Batman trying to help him. "Help! Somebody! Anybody!" the Flash screams, and he runs faster and faster, his body beginning to fail around him, his skin shrinking away, and he begins to shrivel up. "There's always hope! Time to save the world! Do what you have to! We have to save it!" And with those last words, the Flash withers and he dies. But in his last moments, the cannon explodes into a shower of destruction. The Anti-Monitor stands among that destruction, anger coursing through his body as he is defeated once again. And finally, he raises his arms and the energy flows around him. They will suffer for what they have done. They will suffer! My universe will provide the energy that I need. He bellows, with the antimatter universe beginning to die, worlds perishing in an instant. With their deaths, the anti-monitor grows more powerful, and with their deaths, I will be victorious. With the crisis momentarily averted, life returns to normal within the Earths that remain. The heroes fight villains across the realities, with the Legion of Doom trying to take over all Earths. Finally, though, a voice calls out ordering the conflict to end, and the shade of the Spectre drifts over the remaining Earths. You must cease this mindless battle, for while you fight, the end of all universes is at hand. Hear the word of the Spectre, he calls. The villains and heroes across the world hear the voice of the Spectre, and he tells them, the Anti-Monitor still lives, and even now it seeks the destruction of all life. He has fled from this era, retreated to the past before life evolved, before the Earth was formed. He has traveled to the very dawn of time itself. No longer will there be positive matter, only antimatter will prevail. All Earths, all universes, all life will be eliminated. The heroes and villains of the Earth cease their fighting, joining forces once again to stop the destruction of all of existence. They say their goodbyes to their loved ones, not knowing if they will ever see them again. The Spectre has a plan, to send the heroes to the dawn of time to stop the Anti-Monitor. When the villains arrive at the ancient Oa, there they will stop the creation of the multiverse in the Anti-Monitor himself. As they prepare to disembark, the heroes are suddenly interrupted as a new Superboy arrives. This is Superboy of Earth Prime, and the sole survivor of that destroyed world. Though some show hesitation, Superman of Earth 1 vouches to the boy, and with a nod, Spectre tells him, very well, let's begin. With the combined powers of the greatest superheroes across 5 Earths, the team heads into the time stream. They emerge into nothingness. Time, before thought, before creation. I have been waiting for your arrival. Indeed, I am disappointed that it has taken you this long to find me, the Anti-Monitor tells them, standing amongst the nothingness. He has massive, now raw power from the destruction of the antimatter universe. Pariah, who has been brought to this point of danger, is trapped, suspended over them. He warns his friends to go back, but it is too late. It is now that the Anti-Monitor tells Pariah the truth, that he didn't destroy his world. Fool! You merely opened the antimatter portal to the dawn of time. I took advantage of your experiment, destroying those worlds to gain even more strength. The Anti-Monitor laughs. Soon he will have enough energy to rebuild the antimatter universe in his own image. Don't believe it, Monitor. As far as I'm concerned, you're already dead, Superman shouts, and the heroes launch forward, hitting the Anti-Monitor with all of their power. They fly forward, lashing out against him with super strength and energy. Farther forward in time, though, the villains are launching their assault on Oa, trying to stop the experiment that would give birth to the crisis. At the dawn of time, the Anti-Monitor is flushed with power. You fools, I led you here to the dawn of time. I needed your life forces. I needed your energy. The heroes fall as he begins to siphon the energy out of them, absorbing it into himself. He waits for Krona to open the doors to the dawn of time, and then the course of history will change and the antimatter universe will reign supreme. He pauses briefly. I feel a force resisting me. Who dares? The massive image of the Spectre appears, staying the Anti-Monitor's hand. I dare, cruel one, he snarls, grasping the villain's hand, and I will stop you. While the Anti-Monitor has absorbed the strength of the heroes, the Spectre has absorbed the energy of the magical beings of Earth. The two begin to fight for supremacy as Krona moves to open the portal to allow the controlling energy through, and the Spectre screams as he fights against the Anti-Monitor. He sees universes that never existed pass before his eyes, and then all of creation shatters, leaving nothing but death behind. And that is the conclusion of issue 10 of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I hope you guys have been enjoying this since the beginning, and we'll be concluding it next Tuesday right here at the Comicstorian channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell. Smash it! Smash that bell to get that notification that it has officially gone up, that you knew that next Tuesday, the next Crisis chapter went up, because it is the final Crisis chapter. So now it is time for you to decide, my dear viewers. Do you want us to do more Crises after this one? Do you want Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, 0 Hour, all of the things that have basically messed up the DC universe, and the eventual battles against Superboy Prime? Because we can cover all of that if you really want to. That can be what we do. Either way, guys, I hope you guys have enjoying it up to this point, And I'll see you next time right here at the Comicstorian channel.